Well, greetings to you all. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to our Power Up. Today is Wednesday. It's Wednesday, March the 1st, and thank you so much for being on today. So, here we are, middle of the week. I do want to encourage you on this Wednesday. I don't know when you'll be watching this at all or whatever, but I want to encourage you, be sure and be in church tonight, wherever it is that you are watching our Power Up from. We are currently in Florida, and so we plan on being in church this evening, and I hope that you do as well. I trust that you had a good day yesterday, and look forward to another exciting day today, I am sure. Want to also encourage you, if you are just now getting on, hit that share button so that others can jump on and be a part of our live stream as well. Hit the share button and then take your Bibles and go with me to the book of Job. Okay, we're looking at Job chapter number 32. Job chapter 32. And we'll give you a second to get there. Once again, hit the share button, comment so that we know you're on, and we'll get started here. Job chapter 32, we're going to kind of jump back up to verse number 11, get some context here from where we were yesterday, and let's look at this verse number 11. Remember, Elihu is speaking. Remember, he has waited for Job to speak. He's waited for Job's three friends to speak because they're older and just out of respect for them. And now he feels it's his time, it's his turn to speak. So, verse number 11, he says, "Behold, I waited for your words. I gave ear to your reasons whilst ye searched out what to say. Yea, I attended unto you. And behold, there was none of you that convinced Job or that answered his words. Lest ye should say, We have found out wisdom. God thrusteth him down, not man." And then I think that's where we left off, and getting into verse number 14 here. He says, "Now he hath not directed his words against me, neither will I answer him with your speeches." They were amazed. They answered no more. They left off speaking. When I had waited, for they spake not, but stood still and answered no more, I said, I will answer also my part. I also will show mine opinion. And so that's where Elihu believes he's at. There's been a pause in the conversation. So Elihu believes, hey, now it's my turn to kind of share with you my opinion about Job, about what Job is going through, about these three so-called friends that are comforting and all of that. And he says, now it's my turn. Now, verse number 18, he says, "For I am full of matter. The spirit within me constraineth me." He says, man, I've got an idea. I'm full of I've got my own thoughts on this situation, and I'm going to share it. The spirit within me, it constraineth me. Hey, my respect for you guys and your age and for your station in life, that's what's constrained me. But man, behold, you look at verse 19, "Behold, my belly is as wine which hath no vent. It is ready to burst like new bottles." And back in those days, they would keep the wine typically in not necessarily in a bottle, but a container, like a leather container almost. And it would ferment and all of that kind of stuff that were left there. And he says, man, it hath no vent. And so here's what happens with no vent is it's going to break, it's going to pop and blow open. He's like, that's the way I feel. I feel like a container that holds this wine up doesn't have a vent, and it's just going to build. The gases in there are going to build and eventually explode. And he says, that's the way I feel about this. I've had my opinion about it, my thoughts about it, and I've waited. I think it's time for me to go. And he says, verse 20, "I will speak that I may be refreshed. I will open my lips and answer." Now, think about this as Elihu kind of speaking here, speaking to be refreshed. Maybe you've, and this might be a bit of a stretch from this verse, but it's a great thought, I think. Maybe you've been there to where you just needed somebody to talk to. And maybe you've got somebody in your life that you can go to and you can talk to, and talking with them, it's almost like there is a weight lifted off of your shoulders. I don't know what, maybe you go through a heartache and a difficulty, something you're experiencing uh, relationship wise, and just talking to somebody lifts the weight off. That's value the relationship with that individual, somebody that you can talk to like that and just communicate with. That's a great relationship to have, somebody that you can communicate with on that level and just kind of share your heart with and talk with them. And they're not going to be critical of you, they're just going to listen. That is a value, that relationship. I would encourage you to do so. And then be somebody that is a good listener. We are often so quick to speak out, solve an individual's problems when they just want somebody to listen to. And so I know that might be a little bit of a stretch for this verse, but just kind of a good thought for us, good practice for us. It says, I will speak that I may be refreshed. I'll open my lips and answer. And then verse number 21. Excuse me. Let me not, I pray you, accept any man's person. Neither let me give flattering titles unto man. And so he doesn't want to be, as he begins talking here, he doesn't want to be a respected person, doesn't want to choose sides, but rather just wants to speak to the situation. And he says, neither let me give flattering titles unto man. And then verse number 22, for I know not to give flattering titles, in so doing my maker would soon take me away. And so the speaking of flattering titles, the speaking of pride and those types of things, and he just says, you know what? I just want to speak to the situation. I'm not choosing sides here. I just want to speak to the situation. And one of the difficulties in this life is the fact that we are so prone to choose sides when we get into conversation with somebody, when maybe we're the mediator of a conversation, and it's hard. It is hard sometimes uh, to to remain neutral on something. And so I want to encourage you also along this line. Be sure when you are approached maybe with conversation, situation, you find yourself in something like this, be sure and listen to both sides of a matter, both sides of a situation. Don't go into it um, with your preconceived notions or what you think is the truth, what you think is going on, but rather hear both sides of a matter. And when we automatically jump to a conclusion without hearing all of the truth, I find in my life when I do that, I end up I end up having to seek for forgiveness because I've jumped to that conclusion and been wrong in my judgment of the matter. Maybe this has happened, maybe parents, maybe this has happened with you and your kids. I know it's happened with me, to where something had happened, something had gone wrong, and we automatically jump on the side that we think is right, the individual we think is right, rather than hearing the whole matter first. I know in my life I've done that without hearing the other side of the story, and I've had to ask for forgiveness for my children as well. And so Elihu here, we're going to see what his thoughts are on all of this, and he's not going to be perfect in everything, but you know what he says here at the end, not being that respecter of persons, somebody who wants to remain neutral in the situation, just wants to speak to the situation, I think can be commended, and that's something that we need to seek to do as individuals as well. First of all, let's look at Elihu, what he's done here. He's been willing to listen, and that's so important. Be willing to listen to others, and then secondly, to not come in judging right away, but wanting to hear the whole truth of the matter. And that's something we can learn from. That's something we need to practice, and can be very difficult to do. Okay, when you and let's just take this. Give you one more thought here. When the we might say gossip, when gossip gets to your ears, uh, and don't listen to gossip, but when it gets to your ears, don't automatically believe the gossip that you hear, and make sure that you search out a matter. You know, we say, hey man, if it's online, it must be true. Not necessarily. Oh, I read it on Facebook, it must be true. Not necessarily. And so the same is true with what we hear from other people about others, about other situations, hey, let's search out that matter first. Listen to both sides of the story, and get good feedback on those things so that you can make a proper judgment. Okay, I'm gonna leave you those couple of thoughts there today. Thank you so much for being on. Hope our power up does find you well. If you have not hit that share button yet, be sure and hit that share button. If you haven't commented yet, be sure and comment as well. Once again, I hope that you have a great day today. Praying for Calvary Baptist Church, the members of it, and praying for the Rock tonight as well. Trust that you all will have a great time at church this evening. Miss you all. Look forward to being back and worshiping and serving the Lord with you, and look forward to that. But until then, let's remain faithful to what God has called us to do. I would encourage the church family, jump in and help out where needed, and God will bless you for that. Hope to see you. Hope that you're in church tonight. I'll be in church here in Florida, and look forward to that. All right. Good morning, Ingrid. Thank you for being on. Love you. I also saw Benjamin is watching as well. So good morning, Benjamin, and have a good day, Benjamin. Cliff and Karen, good morning to you all. Have a great day. Lee and Angie, have an awesome day. And thank you so much, Cliff and Karen, for your faithfulness to Calvary Baptist Church. You're such a blessing and encouragement, as well as many others. But thank you so much for that second comment. David, good morning to you. Have a great day. Brian and Cindy, good morning. Have an awesome day. Pat, thank you for watching. Been praying for you as well. Have a great day. Paula, good morning to you. Jean, good morning. Thank you so much for being on. Hope that things are well for you in the southern part of Michigan there. All right, Lord bless you all. Have an awesome day, everybody. Be sure, once again, share that so that others can jump on. Have a great day.